read 3 books this month.
I feel you.
3 books? Yeah, honestly. I feel like
My brain is just not.
I've only been reading the books for the live streams I have to do.
Yep.
That's the 3 that I read.
Yeah.
That is literally it. But, you know, here we are.
Goodreads is like, you're 7 books behind.
Goodreads, shut up. You know what? I fixed that right off the bat because when I was doing Edgar Allan Poe, I listed every single poem and short story as one book, and I'm like, I ain't doing this year. Goodreads.
I wasn't getting like an option of every single one though. There's a shit ton in that copy that I have.
Oh yeah. It was like I was able to find, at least like on Storygraph, I was able to like manually input it. So it's like my Storygraph and my Goodreads are a little bit different, but because I can't manually input anything on Goodreads. So it's like, if I couldn't find it on Goodreads, I was like, I can put it in Storygraph. I don't care.
My Goodreads is off by like 4 because of manual inputting stuff.
Yeah. Which I love that feature.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, I absolutely did read this fan fiction that I'm going to put in there.
Yeah.
Fan fiction.
Absolutely did. Alrighty. Well, we are live. And hello, everyone. It's been a while.
It feels like it's been forever. Nicole, I feel like I saw you yesterday, which I probably was, but still.
I've been seeing you every weekend since my birthday.
Show them your room. Show them around.
Oh, yeah. So let's move. I got that. We see my categories up there.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm still nervous about that shelf over there. I'm just
it
waiting for
fallen.
it to fall.
It has not fallen yet. Don't put that out in the universe.
Why do I look so yellow?
Because like literally this shelf is nothing but hardbacks.
Yep.
So it's like
It's
there's
a heavy
lot
shelf.
of weight on there. Hello, Liz.
Hey,
you
Liz.
felt this book was fanfic too, Nicole? This one that we're reading now for Lucy Monroe? No.
She
I
put
mean-
a fanfic book into Storygraph.
It's her own fan fiction, I guess, technically,
Oh.
because
Okay.
she's self-publishing these now, and for a while wrote tons of Harlequin Presents. So.
Yeah. I know I've seen her name everywhere. I've seen it. So no, I didn't think this book was fan fiction. I did read fan fiction like 2 or 3 weeks ago or something, and I'm like, I spent time reading this, and so I'm gonna add it.
I wish I could do that with magazines sometimes, but like I read a magazine, count it as pages read. Just give me credit for it.
Absolutely. Get Storygraph and you can do that.
What?
Yeah, get Storygraph. You can manually input your books.
That's just another thing. And then I'd have to move all the library books. Oh, that's a lot.
It actually does support an upload of a CSV that you can download from Goodreads. So,
okay. It
was
makes me feel
rather easy to import all of my Goodreads stuff onto Storygraph, so I didn't have to start like from scratch.
Do they have an app yet, or is it still just like in the web browser?
No, there's an app. There's an app for that.
I still look really yellow, and I can't figure out why.
Oh,
it's probably just your lights.
I was like, sometimes if you put something like in front of it, it'll change the color.
Better.
Oh, there you go.
There we go.
Yeah,
that's
it was
better.
your light.
I really look jaundiced, and I'm like, I'm not sitting like this, seeing that I can see myself. This is not okay.
You're like, I promise that my liver is not failing. So this book, Her Off Limits Prince by Lucy Monroe. Aaron and Alicia. This is my first Lucy Monroe. Aaron and Alicia love Lucy Monroe so much. Really excited to read one of her books. I'm gonna give her other books a try, especially the one that you that you recommended, Aaron. But yeah, so was listening. Let's say I keep a chart. I'm
gonna need to read some manga again because I'm 7 books behind. That's easy. Just read.
Oh yeah,
just get
manga will be fine.
Read some smutty manga. You're good.
Done.
Liz says this was her first Lucy Monroe book
as
well. Awesome. Okay, well we have Blythe and Tor. So Tor is the spare heir to the throne, and Blythe is the best friend of the girl that married his brother. So that's how they know each other. And honestly, I felt like this read, and Alicia did mention that this was supposed to be, or Jen, you mentioned that this was supposed to be like a third book in the series, but it didn't like pan out that way. So it did read like it was like a book in a series, like, because I felt like maybe there could have been like a romance between the best friend and the brother who is now king. I did feel like it was an established world, I guess, and with the other characters and stuff. So I did
know
feel
who the other
that a little
couples were. I know the brother probably and the sister would be one. I feel like that would be accurate. But who would the other one be? Did we ever have another?
Well, there were two brothers.
Yeah,
that's right.
He's the spare.
Like the first book could be her best friend and the brother who's now king. I can't think of his name. I'm sorry.
Ogre,
right?
Or Hoger, or whatever, something like that.
Hodor, yeah. This is
that's what I was thinking every time I read it. I'm like, that's not okay, but okay.
This is the second book in the series with Blythe and Tor, and then the third book could be his best friend because she did get married in like towards the end of this book. His best friend, what was her name? Elise.
Elise, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
So it could have been. And honestly, I didn't really get a good gauge of how much time passed reading this book because I feel like at the beginning
it was like 7 years. Sorry.
3.5.
Right? I feel like at the beginning of the book, his best friend didn't want to get betrothed to someone she didn't care about. So he's like, "Oh, I'll pretend to be your boyfriend or whatever." And then by the end of the book, she's getting married. I'm like, "Dang, okay."
We don't choose when love finds us, Nicole.
It just happened.
That is something that threw me off a couple of times. And there would always be like one line at the beginning of a chapter that would be like, and now it's summer. It was like winter break and we're opening presents. I was like, winter break? Wasn't it just summer? Like, what time was that? And then they were like banging it out. And it was like 3 years later. And I go, 3 years?
3 years, friends with benefits. Yeah.
I'm sorry, friends with
like
benefits.
3 years
if
later.
you go past the year mark, it's a little bit more
than a relationship.
You're in a relationship at that point. It's just common law, right?
You're just lying to yourself at this point.
I just really was wishing for at some point to be like 6 months later, just like some indication that would be like, okay, we're moving along. Because I feel like
times in the book,
all of a sudden he was in the military.
Yeah.
What?
There was 2 times in the book where that happened. The first time I noticed it is when Tor was talking to the best friend. What's her name? Janice?
Elise.
No,
her best friend.
I think it was
Janice.
Janice. And she was saying how she didn't want to be queen. And then literally the next paragraph's like 6 months later, she was crowned queen.
Yeah.
6 months later. It was kind of like writing like one thing led to another. But it's like, aren't you supposed to write that? One thing led to another.
Yeah.
So that was the one time that happened. And then after they broke up, it was like a year later.
A year later. That drove me so nuts. Ooh.
It drove me nuts. When I read that, I was like, a year?
It was like Avengers Endgame where all of a sudden it was like 5 years later. What? No. I need more.
It's like, how are we literally just 10 minutes into this movie and you're saying 5 years later? Like, no.
Yeah.
I've never seen any of them, so I don't know.
Oh my god, that's right. I was gonna say
I've seen Iron Man. That's it. As far as I've gone, I've seen all the Iron Man. That's as far as I've gone.
That's the worst one. You gotta watch Thor. Come on. Thor,
the worst one.
Iron Man, and then the rest.
First Iron Man was great.
It was.
I had a huge crush as a teenager on Robert Downey Jr. So like,
I shouldn't say not Iron Man, but
he's just great.
I mean,
it makes sense that she would only see Iron Man just because that was the first movie that came out.
Well, it came out the year. Okay, now I'm aging myself. It came out the year I graduated high school, and all my friends dragged me to the movie.
I don't know.
I can't remember what year it came out.
What year did you graduate high school?
08.
08.
I was 07.
I was 07. So
I was 2002. I'm the old guy here.
Hey, that's all right.
That's okay.
You're wise beyond your years. You keep us right.
Oh, that's such a credit that you call me wise, Jen.
He's like, yeah, I'll take that. Alyssa, not knowing
I really liked that he was the virgin.
Yeah.
Some people like that. Some people like that trope.
I'm so sick of the girl always being like the never been with someone and then she becomes the porn star the minute they have sex.
Yeah.
That's true.
The one
Absolutely.
thing that like gets me, and I just wanted to like throat punch Blythe. I mean, there were a lot of times.
I know.
But like the first time they were just like making out, and he got excited. She was just like, normally
He
I
came in
wouldn't
his
find that
pants.
attractive, but it was so hot. I was like,
Before the 12-year-old move.
no, that was not hot. Get out of here. No.
Oh, that's what I have to look forward to.
Oh,
I
jeez.
setting the wrong example. It's only like if he can't do anything else after that. It's that's only when it's not
He
hot.
was
But
rock
if
solid. It was
he was
fine.
fine. He was totally fine.
I just didn't like that he didn't
Hi,
tell
Cool
her.
Gamer.
Hey.
Oh yeah, that
I
bothered
just
me that
feel
he
like
didn't initially tell her.
And I'm like, that's kind of important. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but that's
I didn't really. I mean, I was just like, it was kind of like, oh, okay, whatever.
But he knew what to do somehow, even though he never had sex. Okay.
He had
had royal
experience, but
tutors.
not.
Done
Yeah.
other things.
Yeah.
Still though, come.
Yeah.
And he can get no.
It really,
No,
Liz,
there's
for
no
this comment, it really wasn't like in like the real universe that we're living right now. It's just a standalone, I feel like, but like there was a little author's note in the front where Jen was saying like this was supposed to be like a third book in the series, but it just didn't pan out that way. So like it's really a standalone. So there's not other books that are related to this. I just wanted to point that out just in case you went looking. We read that book, I think Alicia.
Oh yeah, the one that I DNF'd real fast. The mermaid one.
Oh,
that was awful. That book was awful. I wish I didn't.
I tried. Yeah.
I was so upset because that cover was beautiful.
That was so pretty.
That cover was beautiful, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like why?
And Vina thought we hated her because we all hated the book.
I know she was like, this was my book pick. I'm so sorry, and I was like, no, I absolutely wanted to read this book too because this cover is gorgeous, and I feel like we were tricked, we were bamboozled. It was.
Pick another one, Vina. We'll give you another shot. It's fine.
Another shot.
Yeah.
Didn't she pick a different book once though? I feel like she was on a different time.
Did she pick Amari?
Was she on
Amari and the Night Brothers? I don't know if she picked Amari, but I don't know if she was on the live. I have to. My memory's terrible, y'all. I'll have to go back and watch the live.
She had been. Maybe she
I
just
know
read a book.
Bree was on the live with us.
Bree was on the live for Amari and the Night Brothers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
People mixed up. I'm the
God,
worst.
it's pretty bad that I can't remember.
This year is like everything is mush.
It's gonna be September tomorrow. Okay, I'm not okay with
know.
Okay, at least
I
pumpkin spice lattes are back.
I can't.
I know Brandy was on with us when we did Lost Apothecary.
Maybe that's what I was thinking of because I think she didn't like that book either.
I hated.
I
hated that book.
I really liked it. I'm like, yes, poison all these men.
It's not that I didn't
with that part. I just didn't like
the modern day lady.
The present day.
Yeah, like
the modern day
about. If it was just about like the past apothecary, I would have like
I would have loved it.
Yeah,
that is like my type of historical fiction. Give me all the ways to like secretly murder someone and get away with it. I'm in.
Yeah, Nicole, when I saw it,
my brain, but whatever.
When I saw it make it onto your shelf, I was just like, I honestly wanted to hide it from you and then just throw it away because I was like, this is such a garbage book. You hated it.
Well,
I didn't.
I didn't hate it. The cover is gorgeous.
Yeah, but you have to say you keep buying Sandra Brown hardcovers. You need to make room for those hardcovers.
Yeah,
we have no room.
I bought the new one. Yeah, there's plenty of floor.
Another one?
Plenty of floor around here. Yeah, she releases a book every year. She's still writing.
Which one did she release?
It's called Overkill.
Should have been one that Nicole bought in paperback or on a Kindle. I'm just saying.
Well, no, I need to buy it immediately.
Okay.
I need to buy it immediately and then not read it for a year.
Well, we can't do buying Stephen Graham Jones immediately and then not reading him for a year. I'm sorry, I can't.
Well, no, but it always works out that way for me. Unless there's a live stream for it, it's getting read in a year.
Probably.
Liz said I never finished the mermaid book, but still bought the sequel. My completionist problems. Yeah, no.
Oh no.
I'm just gonna
that
leave
put me
that.
In a slump for that book put me in a slump for like 2 months.
I'm gonna leave that to rest.
Now we're not talking Skin of the Sea, are we?
Yeah.
No, we're talking.
No, not that one. It was
Wish
Out of Water.
Okay.
Wish Out of Water. Yeah,
Wish
that one.
Water.
Skin of the Sea. Yeah. Maybe Vina was on Skin of the Sea.
Oh, maybe
yes, she was.
That
was it.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
I was thinking,
but
like,
yeah,
the
we're
mermaid
definitely
books, and
reading
I'm like,
the
maybe
sequel
that
for
was
Skin of the
wrong.
Sea.
Yeah, that one was good.
That was fantastic.
Someday. That book was fantastic, and it ripped my
And
heart
made me
out.
cry.
It made me cry. And then the
No,
author
the
was
books
like,
make me
"Oh,
cry, but that one made me
why?
cry.
Like, why is it making you cry?" And I was like, "You know exactly what you did."
I love when you sent her the picture of it being put in the freezer.
In the no, that's the I posted that and she commented on it and she was
I
like,
love
"Why
it.
are you sad?" I'm like, "You know what you did.
You know what you wrote.
You know exactly what you wrote." I think I'm talking about Skin of the Sea. Sorry. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, Wish Out of Water was the mermaid book that we didn't like. Skin of the Sea was the mermaid book that we did
I
like.
should have DNF'd
Yes.
that book.
Yeah, I got really good at DNFing books this year. Mainly because
Yeah, me too.
nothing sounds good. I don't know what it is.
I don't
I'm
know
in a
either.
slump, guys.
This month
3
has
books
just
this
been
month.
trash for reading.
August is always the reading slump month, I swear.
I think it's because
It's
it's summer,
awful.
it's hot,
Yeah.
I don't like it.
And my air conditioner decided to stop working for like a week.
Oh, no.
A week? No, ma'am.
Oh, and
No,
you're in like
ma'am.
Midwest humidity hell.
It's like 105 with the humidity. I'm like, shoot me now.
Yeah, no. I'd get a hotel room. I'd be like, okay, fix it.
I did.
And
I
then
went
I'll
to
give
my
you my
mother's.
bill later.
Yeah, that was when we were coming back from vacation, and Jen's like, "Your air conditioning's making a weird noise." I'm like, "Fantastic."
Yeah, I felt so bad too. I was just like, what do you want me to do?
She's
But
like,
that's the best
"I'm
part about
leaving."
living somewhere where like you have a landlord, so that you're like, just fix it, please.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Fix it.
husband is the one that fixes everything.
I remember the one conversation we had where I asked kindly if you could clone your husband for me to fix stuff.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Not there quite yet.
I would just like to find somebody that would build me personal shelves. I will marry the person that builds me personal shelves.
That's the reason why you want my husband cloned.
I want anybody of the male variety that will build me shelves, I will marry.
It's like I just need a man to build me a library like yours did.
Build me a library like Beauty and the Beast, and I'm happy. That's all.
I wish I had a house big enough that I could have a library as
I've
big as
always wanted a
Beauty and the
ladder,
Beast.
even though I know it's like not feasible for me. I just
Closest I get are those stairs over there.
Yeah.
Closest I'll get to
They're
a ladder.
dangerous.
Are they on
There's
wheels?
like 2 steps.
No, they're not. I have to move around. I have to carry it. God.
Liz, my wallet would wish that I stopped DNFing special editions.
showed
between
me the
Fairy
notes
Loot and
app.
Bookish Edition.
She showed me her notes app with all the books that she has pre-ordered. I'm like, my God, woman. And you're talking about me? You're talking
All the
about
books
me.
I have pre-ordered came in within the past 2 weeks. I'm like, holy crap, I have a problem.
You're like, oh yeah. My problem is
stopped-
I forget I pre-order stuff and then I order it when it comes out because it doesn't come right away. And then I'm like, oh, I have 2 copies of these books.
What happened with me? Before the crap at Barnes and Noble happened, I ordered a Barnes and Noble special edition of something, and it never showed up. And today, I ordered it again from a different store, and it showed up like a couple days later. And 2 months after I ordered it, it shows up today.
What?
I'm like,
Yeah.
but Barnes and Noble said it was delivered on the 11th of August. I'm like, no, it wasn't.
You are liars.
No, it
I hate
wasn't.
that.
Yeah, it's like
But they
I'm
take my
here.
money back. Do I keep the other copy and just sell it, or give it to someone?
Yeah,
or like,
absolutely.
Yeah, sell
Absolutely. Sell it. Yes, absolutely.
I like how everybody's like, sell it.
it.
You don't owe them anything.
I can't complain too much.
I can build
So
you
her
a
offer
better
was
closet
great.
change too. I can build you better bookshelves, honestly.
Yeah.
No, that's not with that. My husband's over here and he's like, "Oh yeah, you can build better bookshelves." I'm like, "Me? No. Absolutely not."
I like that look in your face. You're like,
Just pause. Excuse me, what was that?
You
I mean,
think you can do
technically,
better? No, absolutely
There is a
not.
closet that he can make a lot of shelf space for you.
Yeah, you could. It's over there. He did put shelves in the closet, but he's like, "You can't put books on here. They're not strong enough." I'm like,
Watch me.
then don't make the shelves.
"No, don't make." There's just shelves for my stuff. I'm like, "Oh, got it. Okay."
So the book. Let's
So
tangent back to it.
So I know. So back to this book. Honestly, I did want to punch Blythe in the face. All of her reasons for not wanting to be with Tor are stupid. She was like, "I'm older than you." Bitch, you're both in your 20s. Like, if you were in your 30s, maybe, but no, you're both in your
thought it was
20s.
like 38.
Like 22 and 28. That is kind of a bit of a maturity gap there. So I did appreciate the timeline of, giving him a chance to grow up a bit.
To grow up together.
But I feel like he was more grown up than she was.
Yeah, that was my point too. I feel like he had much more maturity, which could have been his royalty training.
Right.
But I didn't like how she just assumed that he had a silver spoon. I was like, can we just, he wants to get to know you. Kid. Let's have that conversation.
That's true. And the fact that she was like, well, I can't be with you because they're going to want you to have heirs. Why? He's fourth in line. He doesn't need to have children.
Right.
He is literally the quadruple spare.
Yeah.
Like there are other people.
After his brother's kids, absolutely.
Yeah. It's like there was a point in time where, after the baptism of his nephew, it's like he was saying, like, I'm literally fourth in line now. I'm like, yeah, like, absolutely. So your whole argument about you can't be with him because you can't have children and he's going to need to have children because so he can have, like, no, that doesn't make any sense because he is literally so far removed from being king at this point.
This isn't Westeros that we're living in here.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. We're not just going to kill off your entire family.
Even if that was a thing, she should have told him that she couldn't, like, much earlier.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like she said it, but
not
also
it mattered to him, but like that's an important conversation. Like if you both want children or you can't have children or whatever, that's a very important conversation to have with your person.
She didn't tell him until they were actually like very seriously talking about being together because she was still in the dark. She would still be like, oh no, we're just friends with benefits. Like she was still lying to herself.
After 3 years, you're basically a common law marriage. Okay.
We know that. Blythe did not know that.
The one thing I have to say I liked about it though is that wasn't I think I said this to Aaron earlier, there wasn't the magic pregnancy. Like,
honestly, I was thinking that was going to happen because she kept saying how she couldn't have children. Hi, Cache.
Yeah, I was worried about that too because she had mentioned that she didn't even bother having the test done. I was like, oh no. But Lucy doesn't usually let you down on these things. She hasn't yet so far.
That's why I was like, I'm not panicking yet, but I hate when that's a trope that I don't like. Like the magic of love made you pregnant. Like if you can't have kids, you can't have kids. Like
and that was something that she did mention at the very beginning in the please read section because she specifically called this out where she was just like a lot of people like all of a sudden magically have a baby and that's just she did mention that that's just not realistic. I think it had something to do with her own story as well and she was just like there are a lot of kids out there that you can adopt and like that's the way to go and so I really appreciated that. So I wasn't really spoiled about it because I kind of knew I did read that ahead of time because I was just like oh okay let's read this. It says please read. Sure, I'll do you a favor.
I never read those things.
Like cliche in that way.
I never read the author's note or the foreword.
I do after because they spoil. I do it after because they always spoil.
I never.
I mean, it said please read. The author literally wanted you to read it. So I was like, okay, I'll read you.
I thought she was telling me to please read the book. I'm like, okay, I'm doing it. Okay.
So, in a copy of Octavia Butler, one of Octavia Butler's books, N.K. Jemisin writes the foreword, and she spoils the whole trilogy in the foreword.
That's not okay.
And I'm like,
no.
I'm like, I'm 5 pages in, like you spoiled the whole series. I love you, N.K. Jemisin, but that's just wrong.
That's just messed up.
Was that the Parable series?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
I haven't read that yet. Need to then.
I wanted to get away from the fact that she spoiled it far enough that I can
put some distance.
Until I don't remember anymore.
Which probably give it 6 months and I'm good.
Anymore.
I probably need like 3 days. I have the memory of a goldfish. You ask me about this book like 3 days from now, I'll be like, I didn't like the female character. Couldn't remember her name.
Hey, Carrie. That's Lucy's best friend right there.
Hi, Lucy's best friend. But yeah, honestly, like I literally just finished this book today and I can't remember half. I remember Blythe and Tord. I'm
terrible with names. Although this one, I did read the first like 20%. So I feel like I need to start doing that before switching to things because then I get the names. Although I was pronouncing some things really weird. I don't know why Janice, for some reason. And it did bother me too because I think he called her like a, wasn't a pet name, but like a nickname. So I think
it was like an endearment. Yeah.
Like Jeannie,
but it was in
And then her name was Janice. So I got confused and I was like, are we talking about two different people? Are they the same person? Who's who? Please.
And then my Kindle was saying Yana, and I'm like, I don't know.
Right.
Who's Yana? And then like I was having Siri read it to me too. And when Tor was being like, all like butthurt about her not wanting to sleep with him, basically, he was saying like her name, like Miss Whitney Jones. I'm like, who is Whitney? We're talking to Blythe here. Come on.
He kept on saying it. I'm like, that's not her name though.
I thought it was like a completely different character. I was like, who is this? It was so bad. This is why you don't let Siri read to you.
But I did like there was at one point where they were calling 911 and Alexa, I had Alexa reading it to me. Alexa goes, 911 was dialed. And I was like, what? No. 911. Come on, you got to know this one.
Nothing will ever beat the one time I was reading, I think, an Intrigue or something. And it was about like a medical worker, and I kept on hearing 4, and I look at it. No, they're saying that the person needs an IV.
Oh. Well, 4. Yeah.
My Kindle will pronounce if no is at the end of a sentence because the period's there, it pronounces a number.
Really?
So, yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
That's crazy.
So I've just gotten used to it.
Yeah. Siri will always spell out lunatic. Just instead of saying it, she'll just spell it out. I'm like, but she'll put like a $sign in there. I'm like, why? Why are you doing this?
That's because Siri's a lunatic.
And I was like,
she's just like, I feel judged right now.
Messages in this book with Alexa, and it was like, stop right there. Like, I'm like,
it's you really got to get used to Siri or Alexa. And honestly, after having Siri and Alexa read books to me, I can handle any narrator now.
It's so weird.
There's no such thing as a terrible narrator now because I've listened to Siri.
One person who is awful, and I will go to my grave saying this, Michael Kramer. People can come for me. He's trash when it comes to narrating.
Michael Kramer. Why does that name sound familiar?
He does all the Sandersons.
Oh, yeah.
He's very
very monotone.
And it's like Siri has more feeling than what him. I'm sorry, but
yeah.
And he always does books with his wife, Kate Redding.
Oh, I don't know.
Did Blythe drive anyone else nuts when she kissed him and she was just trying to test to see if he was really in love with Elise? I was just like, ma'am.
Yes.
That's
that was
not
just an excuse. She was lying to herself.
Yeah, true.
We literally just had a conversation that, we can't start a relationship. We can't be anything. And literally the next chapter, she's kissing him. I was like, this was your decision.
It was, because he was just like, then kiss me. And I did like that he did not initiate that kiss. I was like, good for you. Good for you. You make her do that because she's got to learn. That's so terrible to say, but at the same time, I feel it in my soul. I was just like, oh, yeah. She felt, I know we've already said this, but she felt like the immature one in the relationship. And I just wanted to crawl through the book ring style and shake her.
Not ring style.
Oh my gosh. I'm coming for you.
Just to smack some sense into you, because girl.
And everybody knew by the time they admitted they were together. I'm like, girl, it's been almost 4 years. Everybody can figure it out.
I did like that everyone was
not
like,
hiding
you two are together.
Right? It's not a secret.
Even the former king.
Yeah.
Right. I didn't like when Janice was talking to Tor and saying basically you can't do anything with her or you can't start a relationship. And her first excuse was she's too old for you. And I'm like,
get out of here.
What? They are still, they are by the way they were in their 20s. It's not even that big of a deal. It's really not. If she was 38, sure, but she's 28. He's 22. It's really not that big of a difference. It's really not.
I do have an age thing though. I can't there's a certain age that I can't go past because like the same age as my brother, and it freaks me out.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, no. Even though I no longer live in the same state, I'm just like, that's so weird. So,
yeah.
I'm not
make
okay
family
with
reunions awkward,
That's true.
considering one of his ex-girlfriends was older than me.
Oh man. Yeah.
I was like, excuse me, sir. Like, no.
If he's a royal tabloid, would have gotten a hold of something for sure. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And the way they were like going through Paris, like there's no way nobody got pictures of them walking through Paris or in Istanbul or wherever else they did.
Yeah, she was just like, because we weren't in New York or Boston, we had some sort of anonymity. I was like,
he's royal.
Nobody has and she's a travel blogger too.
True.
So like,
exactly.
So like other influencers probably would have seen her or caught her in the background of their photo or something,
Especially in some touristy attraction places like Paris. Like, yes,
something would have happened. And then to that point, I liked at the end that even though after they'd been apart for a year, that he didn't immediately be like, oh yeah, she's the one doing secrets. Like he immediately went to her and was just like, I know it's not you. Everyone else might think it's you, but I'm going to go ahead and do my due diligence because I don't believe that you would do that. So I really like that even though he was probably a little bit peeved at her for the way things had ended, that he still trusted her enough that was like, okay, like I don't believe that you would be this shady.
Right. Like she wasn't the one leaking information. He immediately believed that. Like he didn't think that she was the one doing it. So like all the evidence pointed to her and he was like, no, this is impossible. You know, so I liked that too. Because they always I find like some authors use that as a convenient third act breakup. Like if something like this, like something's leaked to the tabloids, oh, it's you, like I can't trust you.
I was wondering if that was gonna happen with this one.
Yeah. But it didn't. So I was pleasantly surprised. So that was
nice. When he first came up to her apartment with like the police, I was like, you're really gonna arrest her? Like, how dare you? And he's like, shh, get out here real fast. And I was like, oh, you're actually being a good guy.
Yeah.
He was like, just do what they say. You're gonna come over here. We got to get you out of there. Your apartment's car. It's great. Yeah, I really like that.
That's always been a huge fear of mine. Like someone's like listening to you, like especially living alone. They're just like someone
is listening to you. By the way,
I know.
There's companies that their whole job is to like search for secret recording devices, and it's widespread. It's terrifying.
But knowing it's there would even freak me out even more. Even though I know that these things record your life, like no.
I thought it was really funny that her like first thought was thinking of everything that she's done in her room.
I know. I
would have been mortified as well. Sure, yeah, 100%. But I was just like, oh no, like someone's listening in on you. And then she went there, and I was like, oh no, like I'm really concerned for you now.
And Tor was really sweet. He was just like, yeah, someone must know you really well. Like you like to take like calls in bed or like do some work in bed. And he was like, she's like, that's not the only thing I do in bed. I was like, Tor, you're so funny. My mind immediately went to like masturbation and sex and like that is like
I didn't even know.
Yes. They heard everything.
They're listening on your conversations. How rude.
And like for your bedroom, like
listening,
like that's a different type of. You're breaking some other type of privacy when it's your bedroom.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Not just like illegally like recording your in every room, but especially in the bedroom for sure.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be your safe zone.
A safe space. But it's not. But yeah.
I know there was a lot of stuff that happened in the middle of the book, but it's the beginning and the end that kind of stuck out to me.
Yeah, it sticks with you.
Yeah. I mean, for some moments that they both had of being silly, I liked the emotionally intelligent conversations that they had with each other.
Once they started having them.
Yes.
Once they started talking.
I was like, I could have used them to have a couple of those conversations in the beginning because she drove me nuts in the beginning. We can't be together. You're hot. We can't be together. You're hot. Ma'am, just do it. Just talk to him. Just talk to him. Have a conversation. Maybe you learn that he's just a turd. Who knows? Maybe you find out that he's the golden turd just for you.
We all want our golden turd, don't we?
Yes.
I was waiting for him to tell her that like he was a virgin when they met, and her have that be the reason that they break up. I can't.
Yeah.
I was your first or something.
I was honestly,
like, it's so terrible.
In a way, I was kind of grateful that he didn't say it. And they mentioned it at the end that he didn't want to say it because that would immediately have like had her run away. And I fully believe that she would have used that as an excuse to just been like, peace.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I wish like after it had happened, he could have had like a funny moment being like, well, that's what that was like. Like, that's new. That's good. I like that. It's just something like after the fact so that she couldn't have run away in that moment.
It was already done.
Happened. It's already done.
Right. You've already done it.
I really like that he was actually younger. Like, I'm kind of tired of reading the 18, 19, 20-year-old heroine and all that.
Yeah.
Older guy and blah, blah, blah.
Sorry, I just thought the moment right after they finished having sex the first time, and he's like, I just want to lay down. I can't do that, though. Like, he's trying to be like this good guy afterwards. And I was like, that's really cute.
I'm so tired.
It was really adorable. I don't know why all of a sudden that popped into my head, and I was like, yes.
That's hilarious.
All those muscles that you never knew you needed to use,
Like, wow.
I started working out with my sisters on Sunday, and we do this class. And honestly to God, I didn't think I had triceps before, because let me tell you, the first few times I worked them out, I was like, what are these muscles? They hurt so much. Y'all have them. Maybe do, I would say a tricep dip, but those things are bitches.
Tricep dips are
But
hard.
I did something like this, and I was like, I have a little definition here.
Isn't it great when you have one?
Still
You're
new.
like, yay!
But I noticed that the other day, and I was like, oh, look at me. I'm so proud. It's very
I still
small.
hate lunges with a passion. Even though I have to do them, I hate them with a
Which ones?
lunges and squats.
Oh,
hate them so much. I know I have to do them, but I hate them so much.
My legs, I can go for days. Lunges and squats, fine. It's the upper body. I still like cannot do like a full like pull up by myself. I have to do chair assisted pull ups, and I was like, my upper body strength is a 0.
The one thing I like about this.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, so I was going to say, the one thing I really love about this class is she always has like a low impact one. So I always try to do the high impact stuff for like the first 2. And then by the third one, when I'm dying, I'm like, you know what? We made it through the first 2. We'll do a low impact for the second. I can't do the jumping jacks. My body does not jumping jack. So I do like the really extreme like squat, tap, touch, just oof though.
Us with,
I wish I had the leg strength.
Low impact.
Low impact. Mm-hmm.
I wish I had the leg strength because of the crutches. I have so much arm strength.
Oh, yeah.
I can pull myself up without even thinking about it. But like my legs are shit. That's why I hate lunges so bad.
Oh yeah.
Everybody has their strengths and weaknesses. Like if like all those like in those movies where they're like hanging off a building.
I would die.
I'm like, I'm dead. I'm dead.
Right?
Pull myself out.
Or the person that pulls them up one-handed back onto the ledge is like, no, I'm not doing that.
I would put my whole body into it, but then we would both fall.
So we would both fall and both die.
I was watching the Star Trek movie with Chris Pine, and I think it's like the second one, and like Kirk is holding on to Scotty. There we go. He's one-handed. He's got him in the other hand. He gets ready to let go, and then you got the little tiny Chekhov guy who is like a string bean. He's like, I got you both. I was like, no, you don't. You're flying over with them. Like, there's no way in any universe you can hold him back up. Nope, he does. It's like a mom with a car and a baby trapped underneath. He's like, it's my captain. I gotta
that's a sad analogy because that actor died by getting crushed by his own car.
I was halfway through, but I was committed at that point.
Can you just do videos where you describe movies? Because the way you describing movies is so much better than
yeah, you make a channel where just Jen reviews movies.
Yeah, absolutely.
First one is Kingsman. Second one is Kingsman Golden Circle.
Third one's the Kingsman.
Third one
That's not going to be a good review.
The whole time you're just going to be like, where's Taron Egerton?
Pretty much.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Sorry.
I remember reading about that like Chekhov guy, and I was like so flabbergasted. I was like, he was so young.
He was.
Yeah.
And he got like smushed by a car between a car and a gate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like how? Because I think it was parked, but then it rolled.
He parked it and went to go grab his mail and didn't realize that because he was the way his car was parked that it was rolling.
There had to have been something go wrong because I mean, if he felt like he parked it, it's got to be some malfunction on the car or whatever.
The Illuminati. He knew too much.
There you go.
Probably.
I was not expecting that answer. That was awesome.
Honestly, probably. I believe it.
Are you talking about this yellow book?
The yellow book behind your head.
It's a cat book. Hold on.
It's a cat book.
If it's this one, it's this one right here.
Oh yeah, Curiosity.
Cute. Cute book.
I think Nicole, you got this for me. Do you guys want to read this book because it's on my shelf? I need to read. I need to read the books.
Sure.
Curiosity thrilled the cat.
Okay.
Book number 2 is Sleight of Paw.
Oh, perfect. Those have to be cozies, right?
They're cozies, yeah.
I love cozy titles. They're my favorite.
All the puns are great.
I know, but sometimes they get you and I'm just like, oh, that's so cute. And then you read it and you're like, you're terrible.
I'm like, oh, you're not by Julianne Lindsay?
The one that I want to read, I found it recently. It's Moonshine Murders, and it's based in like 20 minutes from where I live.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, that's awesome. And it's got a big tabby cat on it.
Well, it better include a car chase with an old American muscle car.
Yes.
If it's about moonshining,
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
And the gear shifter better be up here.
That is one
by the steering wheel.
I had one of my worst hangovers off of freaking apple pie moonshine, and I will never again. I blacked out. I don't think after that, I don't think I drank for 2 years because I blacked out.
2 years.
I got so freaked out.
Yeah,
you shouldn't be drinking stuff that you can clean your engine with, Yeah,
it's literally gasoline.
We were broke college students. Like, we didn't give a shit.
This is true. We all made poor decisions.
Poor decisions when we don't have any money.
The worst part is finding out what I did after, like what I don't remember.
Just don't remind me.
I did what? I only remember doing 5 shots. Apparently, I did 20 in like
oh my god!
Period.
I'm surprised you didn't
die.
Yeah.
I took 4 shots of Fireball once, and I thought I was gonna never see the world again. I
can't drink Fireball. I smell it now, and it makes me want to puke.
That's Nicole.
Yep, that's me. I think you were at
a bottle and a half one day.
Nope. You were at that party, Jen.
Yeah, but I left early before the second bottle got there.
Oh, yeah, that was the second bottle was the problem.
And that is the first thing.
Thank God my best friend was there because he pretty much stopped something really bad from happening. So all I remember is waking up like he had me like thrown over his shoulder, and all I remember is waking up like up and down. And I'm like, okay.
You see, you were too drunk and you missed your romance kidnapping moment.
Right.
Gosh.
Everybody used to say we should have dated back in college. I'm like, no, that's not. If you look at who he dates, I'm not his type.
Oh, yeah.
Love him to death.
Jess lives in Chattanooga. Actually, she lives near Chattanooga.
She lives near Chattanooga, yeah.
I think
that's 5 hours from me.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So when we go visit Jess, we're gonna come visit Alicia.
Yeah.
And I have a spare bedroom, so that's all made up, so everybody can stay.
So just figure out a good time to leave.
So you guys will be happy. It's my book room.
Nice.
That's okay.
I like it.
I used to stay in Nicole's old book room, but now that's going to be the nursery. So I don't know what we're going to do for VSNA Book Fair.
Oh, shit.
I think the last one you slept in my bed.
Yeah, well, that's because Joe wasn't there.
Yeah.
So you can make sure that Joe's gone on those days, but you're going to be like a balloon ready to pop. So
that's true. That's true.
I'm really hoping though he comes early, he or she, whatever. I want the birth date for you 2/3/23.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll
find
out.
That would make him Aquarius. Those were good people.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I don't want him to come too early. I don't know.
I mean,
we still got a lot of stuff to do in this house.
Well, what do you need help with? All right,
none of it will be done in enough time before the baby comes. There's going to be something that's not
we need at least the room done.
Never ready.
Yeah, but there's going to be something not done on that list.
Yeah.
And you know,
like,
with the first one, you learn all the stuff that you don't need for the second time. You know,
if my husband tells you like it's one and done, we're not going to have a second one.
Yeah,
that's what
I'm not a baby.
That's
pusher.
what my father said, and I have 6 siblings. Okay,
there you go. Yeah, I was gonna say, wait until the little baby gets there, and then Joe's gonna be like, "I want 17 of these," and then you're like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! How about one more? One
and
extra."
then you get twins.
Yeah,
that's what he was worried about with this one.
Running my family, I'm scared shitless. If I ever have children,
yeah,
I don't know.
So
my
that's
body
what he was worried about. When the ultrasound, the doctor was like, "There's only one baby in there." We're like, "Thank God." Thank God.
My one friend's wife had triplets. I'm like, how did you not like internally explode?
That's a good question.
Like organs.
All she did that last month was lay in bed. I'm gonna tell you that.
She went into the hospital at 35 weeks.
Oh,
she was bedridden for a while. Like she was bed rest and all that. I'm like, girl, you can't move. You're too big.
No, absolutely not. Okay. Next book club meeting is The Earl Is Mine by Kate Bateman. This is Alicia's pick, and it's going to be September 14th. So if you want to take a screenshot. And then after that, I think we're going on a little hiatus because Jen is going to be out of town.
We could try to squeeze it if you wanted, like a late night special before I left, but also I don't know what book we would pick.
Yeah.
We could do this one up here. It's a standalone that's technically part of a series, but it's a vampire book.
It has vampire in it, so I'm sold.
Which book
is it? Standalone that's technically
and it's on Kindle Unlimited, so you don't have to buy it. But
it's Elise Cover.
Yeah, if you get the hardcover, look at this.
Yeah,
that's really pretty.
Well, I don't know because she does both. I don't know.
Do which one?
Elise Kova, she does YA and adult, so I don't know.
Yeah, I think this is more of an adult.
If we do this for late night special and it's a YA, I'm gonna shoot somebody.
We need like I'm just H2 smut. H2 smut.
Or we could do this one that I just got, and I know that Megan Quinn does a little bit. This is the Bodyguard one that I was telling you about.
Oh, yeah.
So if you really want to do one, this one I know is going to be adult. That one, it could be new adult with not a lot on page, but I could be wrong. So maybe pick this one.
How much was it? Look at the price, and you can automatically tell if it's adult or YA. Of the Elise Kova one.
This is what it shows me.
Look in the inside flap. It'll say it at the top of the inside flap.
This is what the inside flap looks like.
It doesn't have it. Usually they have it right on the top.
You're like, it doesn't say anything.
And lower, it's YA. If it's higher than that, it's usually adult. That's how I figure it out. Very easy.
Which one?
If it's $18.99 or lower, it's YA.
Oh, okay. This is not a good representation of that because this particular book is like $30 because of like how much details goes into each. But that's just her hardcover. I think the paperback was like $14.99, and that's.
But it's hard to tell with her because she does both. She does YA and adult.
It's got a vampire. I feel like there was sex in the first two in this series, but it's like it's the same world. It's not a series. It's just the same.
It's a standalone, but in a series.
Huh?
Is it the same world as like Deal with the Elf King and all that? Is that the same? Okay.
Oh,
yeah, so they it's like similar world, but you don't have to have read. Oh, I've got to put the other one there. You don't have to have read it in order to understand it. But if you want adult, it's this one. But this one is also this is how I'll tell you. Hold on. This is the illustrated copy, and this is in the.
Nice.
Oh. Hello.
So yeah, this is for sure an adult book. If
what's the book?
Well, we'll talk about it. We'll see how I feel. But
we could do a Wicked Villains.
Yeah,
that's sure.
Wait, is the Kraken book out yet?
Not yet. October.
No, October. Okay.
October. Yeah. October 11th.
On my calendar.
Yeah.
I had
okay. All right.
Pull away from her Patreon. Because of I had to be an adult and be like, I have to pay my bills.
I have to pay my bills.
Those bills, rude.
All right. Well, this I'm gonna call it, y'all. Thank you. So it's been real. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody who is watching now, everybody who's watching on the replay. Thank you so much to my lovely co-hosts. All of their social media links will eventually be in the description box since I didn't update it before we went live. But
I think I sent you the link with the interview, though.
You did. I haven't updated it yet. I know.
Okay.
Thank you.
I just wanted to make sure that I actually sent it because I couldn't remember.
You did. No, you did. Yeah. All right, everybody. Have a great night. We'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.